We'll call this work session Monday, July 10th to order. Invocation given by Mr. Kinnemer and the Pledge of Allegiance by Ms. Frederick.
Almighty God, we give you thanks and praise for your great goodness towards us. We ask you to be with the mayor and council of this city this evening as they go about the public business. Lead, guide, and direct them in all that they do. These things we ask in Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First thing tonight on the work session is tourism grant application from the Scottsboro Barbecue Festival. Ms. Sanders. All right, thank you.
Mr. Mayor and council members, I'm Vicki Sanders. I'm here tonight representing Scottsboro Barbecue Festival, and our request for consideration to be the recipient of funding for the tourism grant of 2023. Our 8th annual Scottsboro Barbecue Festival will be October 14th. We will offer you a birthday bid, and last October we enjoyed approximately 10,000 guests in our downtown area and Scottsboro at large. That was over the course of the day this weekend. The guests that we welcomed provided additional revenues from the downtown area merchants, downtown area eateries, gas stations, hotels, and others. And we feel this festival easily contributes to Scottsboro being viewed as a destination location. The barbecue festival is expecting a record number of vendors, cook teams, and visitors in October. These increased numbers, in turn, will increase the need for additional resources that will be used for advertising and marketing, highlighting our city. Our event signage will need increased waste management components for bathrooms and garbage. Event signage may set that, and staffing and more. If granted, the city's contribution will help maintain a safe, clean, and comfortable environment for our attendees, and that will leave a positive image in the minds of our guests, participants, and our area merchants. In closing, I want to thank you very much for your time, and thank you for any consideration that you have regarding our Scottsboro Barbecue Festival.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions for Ms. Sanders? Comments? I just want to appreciate what y'all do. I know it's the largest downtown event we have each year. Appreciate all the hard work y'all put into that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We'll put that on tonight's meeting. Okay. Number 2, tourism grant application for the Scottsboro High School Band. Is there someone here for the band? Okay. No one here for the band, then we'll strike this and move it to the next work session. Okay. All right, number 3 is the public hearing for the 772 agreement with Five Below. So this is time and place for the public hearing. Is anybody here for this? Okay. Anyone here against this? Okay. Mr. Kimmer, will you kind of go over that?
Yes, sir. This is a standard Amendment 772 inducement agreement. Five Below will be locating in the shopping center across from Calvary Baptist Church. They'll be locating where the Mexican restaurant, I can't recall the name of it, was. They've asked for an abatement or partial abatement of taxes. Local education taxes will not be affected. They'll receive a 50% off non-education related local taxes up to the amount of $375,000 over 10 years. So $37,500 a year. We understand there'll be 40-something employees, and the revenues anticipated are substantial.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Kinnemer. Anyone have any questions for Mr. Kinnemer on this? No questions, and then this will conclude the public hearing. go ahead and move that on to tonight's meeting also. Number 4, discuss ordinance 650 related to short-term rentals. This is something we've gone over a few times. Mr. Kimmer, you kind of go over our final draft here.
Yes, sir. Several weeks ago, we started working on a proposed short-term rental document for the city and ordinance. We examined Huntsville's, Gunnersville's, and several other municipalities here in North Alabama and based the definitions and the procedures and things of that nature on those cities. Basically, it allows short-term rentals within the city of Scottsboro. Short-term rental is defined as anything less than 30 days. This does not affect trailer parks. This does not affect RV parks or things of that nature. It does not affect neighborhoods where the local subdivision restrictions do not permit this kind of thing. It does not affect homeowners association rules, but just sets up a procedure to make this rather safe and effective. And for those people who are not willing to be safe with it, it sets up a procedure to get your license pulled pretty quick. There is a permit process that is rather in-depth. The owner is going to be required to have $1 million worth of liability insurance. The owner is going to be required to provide information for emergency contacts to the city. And so the city can provide complaint information to any owner who has to be available at any time. There are limitations on parking. There are limitations on the number of people who can stay in a particular place. It's based on bedrooms. You can have a maximum of 2 per bedroom. If you get into a dispute like you do at the beach as to whether the living room pull-out couch is a bedroom or not, the building inspector will get to make the final call after inspecting. The house has to be in compliance, or dwelling unit, but that's what we're talking about, houses. The dwelling unit has to be in compliance with the applicable provisions of the property maintenance, building, electrical, mechanical, and plumbing code. It has to be compliant with smoke detectors, carbon monoxide alarms, by the most current international fire code provisions and international building code provisions. And also has to do anything necessary and appropriate that the fire marshal or building inspections office thinks is appropriate given the particular circumstances. Emergency contact information is said, and like you do in any hotel, there'll be a diagram on how to get out on the door. That's required. The property can have no outstanding municipal taxes. The property can have no outstanding municipal code violations. The owner will be required to exert best efforts to notify adjacent property owners, both when they apply and when things are rented. There are limitations on the number of parking places. There'll be no parking on the street. That will be a violation that causes you to lose your license. And you have to have one parking place either in a garage or a carport or on property for every 2 people. There are substantial penalties, as I said, as to what happens if there are 3 valid complaints received by the police department during a 12-month period regarding it. The property can be shut down for a minimum of 6 months. And it gets worse as things go on. Also, the city maintains the right to issue injunctions for a public nuisance if there are problems. The lodging tax rates are set based on, in this draft, on the current lodging tax plus $2 per night inside the city, and half of that in the police jurisdiction, which is the standard. Any questions?
Anyone have any questions, Mr. Kinnemer, on in your packet? I believe the only thing in your packet that wasn't listed was the permit fee, which will be $25.
Yes, sir.
So, anyone else, questions, comments? No, we've already done the public hearing on this, but no other questions, and we'll move that to tonight's meeting.
From what I've heard, Mr. Bailey, more than 100 of our municipalities out of the 400 in the state now have one of these.
All right, number 5, discuss additional funding for the playground for Recreation Department.
Mr. Bailey, Mr. President, I'd like to postpone discussion of this item after some further information that we found about playground equipment. We have noted that some of this material that is needed that we can furnish by the city employees as far as taking the old equipment out and doing a lot of the ground cover and some of the work ourselves, that would deter some of the costs. So
Okay.
if you would like to put this off for discussion at another meeting, another work session.
Next week, or you want further?
We can look at it next week.
Okay,
I'll be out, but maybe the next one.
all right. We'll put it on a future meeting then. Okay. All right, number 6, discuss the 2024 reimbursable mapping survey for Scottsboro Municipal Airport. Mr. Sandlin?
So this is a required survey, part of the airport layout plan. It'll be reimbursed in fiscal year 2024. It's $73,290. And at worst, it'll be a 10% this local match, but I expect it to be a 5%, just as per usual.
So, but of course, we'll have to approve the whole amount for now until because it'll be next budget year before we're reimbursed. Anyone have any questions or comments on this? If not, we'll move back to this week's, tonight's meeting, sorry. All right, number 7, discuss the resolution to apply for the Transportation Alternative Program, the TAP funding for the sidewalk project. Mr. Little?
I believe you have in your packet tonight a resolution and a map showing this project, proposed project. This is a resolution to go along with that. Basically, it's a sidewalk project from the Retcom down the east side of South Houston Street down to Caldwell Park. And the city will be responsible for the 20% of that total cost there.
And you see in your packet, the 20% would be $57,126. Anyone have any questions for Mr. Little on this? No questions, we'll move that to tonight's meeting also. Number 8, discuss the dozer repair for solid waste department. Mr. Lebel?
Yes, sir, thank you. You should have in your package a repair, it's actually an overhaul for a V6 Caterpillar dozer. It's the biggest one we've got at the landfill. This engine overhaul also comes with a extended 3-year, 5,000-hour warranty. It's shut down completely. It was in the mode of getting a new undercarriage put in it. That was our goal, and prior to us getting it to the Caterpillar shop when we were using it, the last day, the engine locked up on it. There's some holes in it. Of course, you can read the report, but there's some holes that are inside it that caused a lot of this, but it's corrosion and just the life that it has and the conditions that it's staying in caused this.
It's rough on equipment out there.
Very rough.
Yes. Anyone have any questions on the repairs? No questions, we'll move back to tonight's meeting.
Thank you.
Okay. And number 9, discuss council acceptance and approval for the reimbursement grant for solid waste. Go ahead, Mr. Level.
As you see again in your package, we have been awarded a recycling fund grant of $340,504.90. This is going to change our program just a little bit because we're going to be able to purchase a truck. It's going to be a non-CDL required vehicle to make these pickups. We're having a little trouble, as everybody is, with some CDL commercial drivers. So this grant's going to enable us to be able to utilize anyone that has a driver's license to make some of these rounds and pickups. It don't just include that rear loader. This includes a delivery truck. It includes 5 pro-gravity trailers, which are kind of like the ones you see in the outskirts of town with the compartmentalized. This will be 5 more of those also that's included in this.
Anyone have any questions on this grant? Just appreciate your hard work putting in for these. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
We'll put that on tonight's meeting. And number 10, discuss the authorization to accept the low bid for Caldwell School culvert replacement project. Mayor, will you go over that?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I think everyone knows the work that's being done at Caldwell School, the addition and the work on Ashmore Lane. The city also has an issue on Scott Street at Caldwell School where the culvert is sinking, collapsing. So working with the street department working with the Water, Sewer, and Gas Board to try to make all this happen at one time. The street department will be closing Van Buren to Ashmore Lane tomorrow, and we will be replacing that culvert. The Water Board has agreed to include the asphalt for this spot with their bid for paving Ashmore. So we appreciate working with them and being able to make this happen in one shot rather than different times. And this is something that we've got to do. So that's essentially what we're looking at.
Okay.
The bid opens tomorrow, and we will be able to, I guess Mr. Green will accept the bid tomorrow, and we will accept our part of that bid tomorrow, and they'll be starting in the next couple of weeks.
Okay. Anyone have questions on that? No questions. We'll move that to tonight also. All right. That'll conclude the work session. We'll go ahead and do delegations before we do go into the meeting. So before we close up, Bo Bradford, Mr. Bradford, give you a chance to go ahead and speak.
Hey, how are y'all doing?
Hey.
Fine.
First off, thanks for all y'all do. Appreciate the progress I've seen in Scottsboro, and I know y'all have had your irons, a lot of irons in the fire. I think I'm probably here too late because I've already been told by multiple people that have had conversations with y'all that the reason why I'm kind of here to voice a concern's already kind of been put on the agenda. So thank you very much for thinking about putting Campground Circle's resurfacing project on your to-do list. We're very excited about that prospect. I've only lived out there for 3 years now. In the meantime, I've tried to get a small project completed on my street, Starkey Drive, and that's kind of snowballed into having more of a passion for doing something for the whole neighborhood as well. I've had conversations with the street department. I've had conversations with the Water, Sewer, and Gas, as well as Mayor McCamey, and I think our hope is that we can have a definitive start date in some shape, form, or fashion. I've spoken with neighbors that have been on our Facebook page that have said that 2 mayors ago it was promised and it never got done. I think our fear is that something else is going to take precedent to that, and then it gets pushed back for 3 or 4 more years. And at this point, it's not just hey, we live in a nice neighborhood, we want a nice service. I mean, you can hardly pass 2 cars on the street. It's like riding a roller coaster to get from the end of Clemens Road to my house, and I literally have to cross over 3 or 4 times. It's tough for you to ride your bike, walk your kids, walk your dog when people are having to go around 14,000 speed bumps and potholes. So, you know, I think me and about a dozen of our neighborhood folks are here to voice our concern. And I know this is going to be a huge undertaking after the conversation I had with Mayor McCamey, and he was very informative. I just think that getting on the same page for the street department and the water, sewer, and gas so that we can prepare for that project is critical, because the conversations I've had do not feel like anybody is moving in the same direction. So that's why I'm here. I hope that's something that y'all sincerely think about. That's about all I have to say. Do y'all have any questions? I will do the best I can to answer them, or ask somebody that's here from our neighborhood to answer them.
Mr. President, can I speak on
Go ahead.
behalf of the paving committee? Myself and Ms. Toller and the mayor are on the paving committee, and we have been in conversation with Jimmy with water, sewer, and gas, and with Mr. Moore with street department. And Campground Circle has been on the radar for a while. I can tell you that we have been actively looking at it over a year. In talking with Mr. Green, they've been out there and looked at sewer issues. Mr. Moore will probably have some issues with drainage that will have to be done, but it is our goal to pave that in 2024. We can't give you an exact number. The amount of work that they have to do to prepare the road is not extensive. It looks like it, but it's stuff that can be repaired. It might have got put up sooner, but we had to pave another road here in town or lose $250,000 grant that we were getting for that. But our plan is to bid it one of the first jobs in 2024. We hope, and the bid will be out in May.
Yes.
And Ms. Tolliver, Mayor, you want to add anything to that?
No, I don't think so. I think that covers it pretty well.
I think so too. We're here to help, and we're wanting to work together. And like Mr. Ashmore said, we are working as a team with the mayor and trying to move forward on our paving. So believe me, we're coming to your neighborhood in 24. You're on the list, I promise you.
Awesome.
We've written the roads, we get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's growing pains.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of roads that need resurfaced, but at the same time, we're growing and having to build new roads. And it's to find that balance, you know. Do we want this place coming in, you know, or you got to find that balance. And like I say, you're on the radar, and I hope there's some other streets on the radar. I've
Well,
been saying. So,
I don't want to jump out there, but I
Yeah.
think all of them.
yeah. So,
I totally understand. Thank you for your time.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. That'll conclude the work session. Give me about 1 minute, and then we'll start the meeting. So we're adjourned.
Barbecue, 772, short-term rentals, mapping survey, airport, tap funding, sidewalks, dozer repair,
Can I email it to you?
solid waste grant. Is that it?
You got 8.
Hey, Whitney, you can have one of mine.
How you doing? Great.
Well, I don't,
That's
that
culvert
second one's
replacement.
been, the one I left on top of your packet's the updated one. Well, okay. The one
This one
in your
just doesn't have
packet.
the fees in it, right?
This is it
I-
with the, I wrote the $25 in. So that's the.
Hello, Jimmy.
There you go.
It's appellate jurisdictions, 11th Circuit. Yeah, there are, look very closely, because there are 100 other cities in Alabama and 400 in Georgia. Right. Which we've always done. If you want to do your canning or business.
Well, it's past, we know, it's past due, we know.
Oh, you're not allowing 16.
Got to have some, you got to have some controversy for somebody to show up.
Nope, not under this. Well, I'm not saying that.
Thank you.
Donnie.
It's good to see you.
We'll have to read out this whole agenda. That's why I don't like doing it that way.
Now, read the game.
But that won't be permitted here.
Well, I was happy to hear that.
We'll call this council meeting Monday, July 10th to order. Formalities were given at the work session, so we'll move to roll call. Ms. Phillips, will you do the roll call?
Mr. Dahl? Ms. Tolliver?
Here.
Mr. Ashburn?
Here.
Ms. Frederick?
Here.
Mr. Bailey?
Here. We'll move to adoption of the agenda. I'll go over that for you. Number 1 is the tourism grant application for Scottsboro Barbecue Festival. Number 2, the 772 agreement with Five Below. Number 3 is ordinance 650 related to short-term rentals. Number 4 is the reimbursable mapping survey for the Scottsboro Municipal Airport. Number 5 is apply for the Transportation Alternative Program funding for the sidewalk project. Number 6 is the dozer repair for Solid Waste Department. Number 7 is the council acceptance and approval for the reimbursement grant for solid waste. Number 8 is the authorization to accept the low bid for the Caldwell School culvert replacement. So I have a motion to approve this agenda.
I make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion on the agenda? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Agenda's adopted. We'll move to approval of previous minutes from June 26. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are approved. There's no old business, so we'll move to number 1. This is a tourism grant application for the Scottsboro Barbecue Festival. Do I have a motion on the floor for that?
I make a motion, we give $10,000 toward the festival.
Okay.
I second.
I have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 2, a 772 agreement with Five Below. Do I have a motion to approve this?
I make that motion.
Ms. Tolliver, would you make it pending receipt of the public notice?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, got a motion pending receipt of the public notice. Do I have a second?
Second?
Okay. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 3, ordinance 650 related to short-term rentals. I'm going to go over that a little bit. Of course, you have in your packet the amounts and all that, but just want to be clear that this will be, they will fall under the rate schedule 45, which is the NAICS number for the city 721111. And that covers motels and bed and breakfasts, but you will be adding short-term rentals to that one also when we approve this. Okay? So do I have a motion to approve all that?
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on that? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 4, the reimbursable mapping survey for the Scottsboro Municipal Airport. This is the amount of $73,290. And right now, we'll have to approve all of it out of excess sales tax. So do I have a motion to approve that?
I make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on that? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, to apply for the Transportation Alternative Program funding for the sidewalk project, and our 20% would be $57,126. That would come out of excess sales tax. Do I have a motion to approve that?
I make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second?
Any discussion on that? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 6, the dozer repair for solid waste department. This is the amount of $59,769.15 that will come out of the sanitation department budget. Do I have a motion to approve that?
I make that
Oh, hold
motion.
on. Okay. All right, well, I'm glad you were here, because it was fixing to come out. We were fixing to take all your money. All right. So the $59,769.15 will come out of excess sales tax. So do I have a motion to approve that?
I make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on that? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 7, the council acceptance and approval for reimbursement grant for the solid waste. This is to approve to and accept it and put out bids. So do I have a motion to approve this and accept it and to put out bids for this?
I make that motion.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second?
Any discussion on that? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And number 8, authorization to accept the low bid for the Caldwell School culvert replacement. Do I have a motion to approve this?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on this? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, it's approved. Thank you. That'll conclude the meeting tonight. There's no delegations. We took care of that, so we'll go straight to reports. Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. President. First thing, I know Mr. Green was here. He had to leave to go to another meeting, but I think he's due congratulations. He is now serving as the president of the Alabama Natural Gas Association, which is significant. In addition to that, his whole operation has been voted or selected as best operated plant and best distribution for our size in the state of Alabama. So that was done by the Alabama Water Pollution Control Association, so some pretty good recognition there. I did mention, I'd like to say again, the street department will be closing Van Buren to Ashmore Lane tomorrow morning for approximately 10 days or until the water board gets through with their resurfacing of Ashmore Lane. The only other thing is Martha's last meeting.
Oh,
Martha, we've enjoyed you. We appreciate everything you've done. Thank you.
that's right.
And good luck.
Thank you, Mayor.
That's all I've got, Mr. President.
All right. Ms. Tolliver?
Only thing I have is that the RecCom did an awesome job. The employees did an awesome job this past weekend for our swim meet. It was a lot of people there. It was so crowded, and I'm so proud of our Scottsboro swimmers. They ended up in 6th place. But overall, it was nice. It was very nice. And Donnie, I really do appreciate all the hard work you and your staff did on Saturday. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Ashburn?
Oh, I don't have anything other than Donnie, appreciate you loaning my wife money to get in the swimming tournament.
Very organized, very organized.
And that's all you got?
That's all I've got.
Ms. Frederick?
Well, I don't have anything, but I appreciate all the crowd that came out, but these are the ones that really stuck with us. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I don't have anything tonight. Just appreciate y'all coming. We'll have a work session next Monday. So with that being said, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make that motion.
I'm sorry, hold on, before we adjourn. Mr. Kimmer, I meant to call on you first.
As you all know, we worked real hard at several city departments on this short-term rental ordinance. I wanted to especially thank Chief Nicholas for his assistance in guiding us through the intricacies of the fire code and make sure that there were no violations. And I think we owe him a debt of gratitude. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kimmer. Thank you, Chief. Appreciate all you do. Anybody else have anything? All right. Now I entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make that
All
motion.
right. Do you have a second? Second? Somebody?
I'll say.
All right, thank you. And we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
You held me out, didn't you?